because you already know deep down that you have the ability to do that, but you are expanding into more. You're expanding into this higher level of consciousness where you are no longer manifesting things into place through this kind of concrete, cut and dry, setting these objectives, focusing towards them with this tunnel vision, working and
Okay, hey y'all, I'm not gonna be in here for long, okay? I just wanted to come in and tap in and make a video because I really don't go live. But I wanted to talk about how I receive my messages, how I receive my downloads that I give to y'all on this platform, okay? What y'all have to understand, everything that y'all experiencing, I am experiencing, okay? There is nothing that happens, there is nothing that does not happen on this realm that I don't pick up. There is nothing that happens on this earth that I don't, quote unquote, input into my mind, okay? And how my mind works, because I am an INFJ. How my mind works, my mind has the ability to break every fucking thing that I have witnessed, that I have heard, that I have experienced, that I am looking at. It has the ability to break all of that down. Okay? And by I'm having the ability to break all of that down, I can now break it down to a point where I can give it out as a message. I can be a messenger for that lesson. I can be a messenger to that lesson, okay? And people have to understand that, because I know a lot of people, they come up to me and they ask me, thank you for the love, thank you for the love. A lot of people come up to me and they ask me, like, how do you know all this? Like, where is this coming from? It's literally just the information that I am receiving. I have the ability to compute it in a certain way to give it out so y'all can receive it in a certain way. Okay? That's just a part of my gift. That's just what I have. So there is nothing that just automatically, like, sometimes things come to me automatically because of my Mercury and my Pisces. I have a very intuitive Mercury sign, and Mercury's about how you uh 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 excuse me, your Mercury sign is how you communicate and how you receive your messages. So my Mercury sign is very intuitive either way. So I'm always up there in the clouds. So, but when it comes to like the real time and real world, everything that I talk about, everything that I'm experiencing, everything that I relay back to y'all is shit that happen every fucking day. It is stuff that happen every fucking day. But by me having the gift of breaking it down, because I am the messenger, okay? I am a life path number 11. And if you know about life path number 11, that is the master number of the illuminator. I had to illuminate everyday things. I had to illuminate things that's going on in this world. I had to illuminate how people act. I had to illuminate the things that you could possibly do every day and you don't know what you're doing. I have to illuminate that. That is my job here. That is my duty here. So that is the reason why people can do stuff all day long for years and years and years and don't even realize what they're doing until I say something like, oh, this is this and this is that and this is why you're hearing to this and this is why you're doing this. And they be like, I never thought of it that way. It's not because I am experiencing something different than you. I just have the ability to break it down in a different way because I am the messenger. I'm supposed to be the one that's giving the messages. I am the one that's supposed to be getting the downloads so you can understand life better. So you can understand where to go better. Now, does that mean I'm perfect? No. Does that mean that I take my advice all the time? Hell no. This is my human experience. And this is how God wanted me to play out in my human experience. And I am not perfect in my human experience. But please understand, excuse me, y'all, my dog tried to knock the phone out of my hand. Please understand, when it comes to me and this human experience, even if I still am in the human experience, I still can break stuff down so you can understand just a little bit better, so you can be in a knowing just a little bit more, so it can be a little bit easier for you on your journey. That's the reason why I'm here. Okay, so that's how I receive my downloads. That's how I come on here and I tell y'all, I have the ability to, break down messages and things that I see and things that I hear all the time. I am the messenger. And what is so crazy, that's why let me tap into your God's gift, okay? What's so crazy is when you stop thinking about how you want to be and then you tap into what God made you to be, you will tap into your gifts. Because a lot of people don't do that. If I still stayed in my mind frame, if I still stayed in my mind, hold on, y'all, be quiet, you guys. If I still stayed in my mind frame, I still stayed in my mindset of what I wanted to do with my life, or the comfortability that I was in, like the frequency that I was in, the energy that I was in, I would never be on here speaking the way that I'm speaking. This is all God. This has nothing to do with me. This has absolutely nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with how I'm serving within my God's purpose. Understand that this has nothing to do with me. And that's why I tell everybody to tap into their purpose. I tell everybody to tap into their divinity, because everyone has one. But life gets real hard for people because you're not looking at that spectrum. You're looking at how society wants you to be. Or you're looking at how your parents want you to be. And you're looking at how they are because it worked for them. But that's not within your God's purpose. Your God's purpose is going to be directly connected, designed just for you. Just for you. And no one is going to be able to understand your God's purpose, because no one is going to be able to understand your God's purpose, because there is something within your God's purpose that you don't even know, like you don't even display every day. There is, hold on, get away from that door. I swear having dogs is like having kids. I'm gonna have no kids if I got dogs. Okay, get away from that door. Get your God's purpose. No one is going to be able to understand that, because people are only looking at you from a human experience. People are looking at you how they view you. People are looking at you how they receive you. People aren't looking at you through your God's purpose. So once you start tapping into your God's purpose, people are not going to understand that, because they're only looking at you from a certain value. They're only looking at you from a certain frequency. They're only looking at you from a certain being of yourself, because they don't know the purpose, the plan that God designed for you. They don't know that. They have no idea what that is, okay? And I want to tell y'all that, because when I talk about my downloads, my messages, and the shit that I get, and by me being an illuminator, I am a shy motherfucker. I am shy as hell. Still, I say shy or quiet or reserved. When I get passionate about stuff, I get passionate because I got a lot of fire in. But either way, I am kind of quote unquote quiet. Now I do get angry sometimes. People do make me mad, but for the most part, I am quote unquote quiet, right? So me coming on here, that's why me coming on here, me telling y'all what I know, me breaking shit down in order for me to relay it back to y'all, is absolutely nothing you could have possibly told me to make me believe that this was supposed to be my purpose. There is nothing that you could have possibly told me before I realized what my purpose was. There is nothing that you could possibly told me that will make me believe that this was something that I was born to do. Like this was something that God put inside of me. And there is nothing for you to tell me. I would have laughed at you. I would have cursed at. Get out of my face with that. What do you mean? I'm not be talking to strangers. I don't even like talking, period. What do you mean I'm about to be giving these messages? What do you mean I'm about to be sharing my downloads? What do you mean? I'm quiet. I don't even like talking to people. All in my workspace, my schooling, I get around people. Oh, she's so quiet. She's so quiet. I'm always the one quiet. But I have to revert what I'm into now, I have to revert that back to my purpose. Like, damn, bitch, you been quiet because you got to be the motherfucker that see shit. That was connected to your purpose. I had to be quiet. I had to be the one to observe shit. I have to be the one to give y'all back the messages. I didn't know. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Once you tap into the shit that belongs to you, once you start tapping into the shit that belongs to you, people are not going to understand that. Okay? It is not for them to understand. It is something that God put inside of you, wherever that thing is, and it's up to you to utilize it and use it for your benefits. Because as soon as you use your God's gifts for your benefits, your abundance on this particular realm is going to be drawn to you. It's going to be connected to you, because that is the space where God wants you to be in order for you to be abundant in that space. Understand that, okay? So when I'm on here giving these downloads and these messages, this has nothing to do with me. This is all God. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me being perfect. It has nothing to do with me knowing more than you. It has nothing to do with me being, I think I'm better than you. This is just the gift that God put inside of me. If you got the problem, if you have a problem with my gift, you need to take it up with God. You have a problem with how I break down messages and information, you need to take that up with God. I have nothing to do with that. I have, and what you have to understand, once you tap into yourself, once you start tapping into yourself, tap into who you are supposed to be, not who people think you are, not who people want you to be. But once you tap into who you're supposed to be, everything is going to make fucking sense. Everything is going to make fucking sense. You can be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. Even though at the time, you couldn't see it making sense. At the time, it just didn't, you couldn't get from point A to B. That's ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to be on that side. I'm going to be talking to who? I don't even like getting up in front of people to say my name. Who I'm going to be talking to again? What do you mean? I'm saying what? It was one point in my life, people thought that I was, well, I wouldn't say people thought, but I was so quiet that I could have passed off as someone that didn't know how to speak. It was a certain part of my life that I was so quiet that I could have passed off as someone who was nonverbal. So me coming on here, telling y'all my messages, telling y'all my downloads is not of just my doing. It is not. This is of God's doing. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with how I particularly feel, because a lot of times when I tell people when I'm on here and I'm giving my downloads and I'm giving my messages and I'm just talking about just stuff that I'm experiencing, I am learning from myself too. I'm learning from myself too, because people have to understand. People be feeling so insufficient about certain things, and when you express yourself about certain things, or you have the ability to look at different views, people believe that you think that you know everything. People think that oh, you perfect because you can break that down, but that's not it. The messages that I receive, I'm receiving it for the whole collective and myself. There's been a lot of times I done said a whole bunch of shit. I done talked, and there's been times where I had said something and it put a ding in my mind. I said, oh, okay. And how I revert back information, or how I revert things that's going on in my life, I say, oh, okay, well, I didn't know that was there. Like, I could have thought that I heard something, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to break that down because this is this and this is that. But in the minute of me breaking that down, I didn't know that would apply to me. I didn't know I had a residue or whatever information I'm trying to give to the collective inside of me. So once I give that information to the collective and I'm talking and that information is dinging in me, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got to work on that. That's something I got to touch back in on, because I didn't even know that wasn't even there. I had no idea that was there. I had no idea that existed. So understand, when it comes to people being messengers are not perfect. Messengers are not perfect. Seers are not perfect. Messengers are not perfect. They're not trying to be your mama. They're not trying to be your daddy. They just getting information from the Most High. The Most High has trusted them with certain information that can possibly help you through your life's journey. And once you encounter someone who can seize, and once you can encounter someone who can actually get the messages that the Creator, that God has given to them and relate it back to you, they are the connection between the messages from God and to you. You are supposed to get what these people are telling you and use it how you use it. Okay? The minute you start to discredit these people, it's the minute that you start discrediting God. Not saying that I am God, but the message that I receive, I why in a personal level, okay, I have went up to people and told them, you know, they need to check their health. They, or what's going on. I have to go in and checking people on their, their emotional status, or how they being, or how, they're emotionally feeling, because I can see that amongst people. And when I approach people like that, they look at me like, how did you know that? Like, why? What? Like, how do you know that? Like, what? How? Why did you come here with that? Why did you bring this to me? And at the minute and at that time, I'm like, well, I just felt it. But it's not by me just feeling it. God put that in me to be able to translate it to everybody that's here. That's all that is. So when you come across someone who can relay messages like that, you are coming across someone who can relate the information that God wants you to hear and that God wants you to understand in real time. Because a lot of times, information that God wants you to hear and understand is all around you. The information that the Spirit and God and Creator, whoever you want to adhere to, the information that is around the things that you have to learn has been around you. It would never leave you. But understand, when we go to this thing called life and our day-to-day shit, and shit happen day to day, and shit happen on this spectrum and on this round that throws us off course, then we forget about what's going on in real time within us and our bodies and our beings and our minds and our physical setup. God put messengers and people who are able to receive downloads to come directly to you and tell you, hey, yeah, I'm not perfect, I'm not God, but I'm here to tell you I got this message. So it's up to you to do what you want to do with this message. It's up to you to do whatever you need to do with this message. But I'm trying to tell you, this is what I heard. I'm trying to tell you, this is the message that I received at this time. Now, you want to put it in your pocket? You want to throw it in the street? That's up to you. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this call. Now, you want to put it in your pocket? You want to throw it in the street? That's up to you. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this call. Now, you want to put it in your pocket? You want to throw it in the street? That's up to you. Hold on, y'all. Let me take this call. Okay, sorry about that. No, it's not the connection. Okay, I'm here. Okay, I had got a phone call. Okay. I don't even know where I was at. Where was I at? Okay, so I came on here talking about messages and downloads, okay? I came on here talking about hey love, how you doing, sis? I came on here talking about messages and downloads. I came on here talking about how I receive messages and downloads, and it's not that the way that my brain is made up and the gift that God gave me, the things that people experience on the day to day in their life. Everybody, whoever experienced something, I have the ability to break that down in order to give it out to the collective, to tell them the message about it, right? To tell them what's going on within the things they do out day to day. And then I start talking about tapping into your God's gift, because in all, without me knowing, I was getting prepared for my gift. But there is nothing that you could have possibly told me that this was my gift. I would have looked at you like you was crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no way that I would have thought that I would have been the illuminator of spirit. There's no way that I would have thought that I would have been on here, on these platforms, spending my time, taking time out the day to deliver messages and make sure people get the information that they need and help people when they're, in certain aspects of their life, even though throughout my life I was always the helper or the one you can go to. But in this particular manner, there's no way that you could have possibly told me like this was to be in my fucking journey. There's no fucking way. The only thing I can tell you is I guess I've always been on my journey because I've always been very quiet, and I understand that the more quiet you are, the more information that you receive, because you're soaking everything up. It's like you're a sponge. So I had the ability to be in certain places and be totally ignored, which was fine for me, because the more you ignore me, baby, the more I'm getting information. Because go ahead, pass me by. I just need to hear what the fuck you saying. I just need to hear how you acting. I just need to feel the energy that you are on. You ain't got to say nothing to me. I'm good with that. Go ahead and do you. Go ahead and live your life. Go ahead and display yourself. I'm looking at all that. Okay? So by me being able to look at all that, I can revert back how my mind's calculating shit. I can revert that back and say, oh, okay. And I put that in my fucking memory bank, and when I need to relay a message or delay a message, I can get all the tools that I done learned and I done studied and I done soaked in order for people to understand on a different level, okay? And I talked about tapping into your God's purpose, because there is something that you do, there is something that God designed for you to do that you could have possibly adhered to in your life, but it doesn't look like the thing. It doesn't look like your total purpose. So when someone tells you what your purpose is, you have no idea. You look at them like, what the fuck? What do you mean? I'm not about to do that. Who's gonna do that? I'm not doing that. Like, do you know who you're talking to? You have to be crazy. There is no way in the world that I'm doing that. And I say that because I have experienced that. There is something, me on here saying what I got to say, and I'm shy. I'm quiet. Like, in the stuff that I talk or the things that I say on here, a lot of times, 7 times out of 10, I can tell you a lot of that stuff just comes from spirit. All of it just comes from spirit. There is no way I'll be on here telling y'all anything. If it was up to me, okay? Mercury ruled sun and moon says I love to talk, but learning to be quiet and study the energy. Yeah, girl, you have to. You have to. And that's always been a given for me. Like, I've always been able to revert or to step back and see what the fuck is going on. Because when you talking, you missing a whole bunch of shit. When you talk, you miss a whole bunch of shit. I'm trying to tell you. There's so much stuff you miss when you talk. And what people have to understand when it comes to even the language, like even God's language is silent. That's why they tell you when you're going to do something, be still. That's what they tell you when you got all these things in your mind, be quiet. Okay, once you understand that God's language is silent, you will understand that sometimes you got to revert back into God's language, because when you revert back to God's language, you'll be able to decipher some shit. You'll be able to put 2 and 2 together. You'll be able to see what's what. But the more you're talking, you're not in that God frequency. You just over there exerting and doing this and saying these things. You're not connected on that particular level. So when it comes to that, Sometimes you got to stay silent just to see what the fuck is going on. You got to take yourself out the fight. You got to take yourself out the conversation. You got to take yourself out of what you're feeling. You got to get quiet. Because when you quiet, the answer's going to come. You quiet, those downloads you're going to receive, those downloads that you was not going to be able to receive in a place where you were talking. You're not, okay. So even when it comes to like things like that, or like just being in places where I'm quiet, I don't mind, because I don't know who I'm around. For one, I don't know who I'm around, and I don't mind being quiet because maybe there is something that they have to teach me without me knowing. I don't know who I'm around. I know who I'm looking at, but I don't know who these people are spiritually. I don't know who these people may be ordained to be in the spiritual realm. I don't know what messages they have to give me about myself and my life, and how it can approve what the fuck I got going on. You never know. You never know when it comes to you experiencing people and people able to give you downloads and messages. You never know who you around. So when I get in certain places, I'm observant. I'm polite. Hey, how you doing? Hey, good morning. Hey, how are you? Hi. I'm falling the fuck back. See what the fuck is going on. Okay. So, back to your gift. Once you start tapping into your gift, like your God's gift, it's gonna be it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like in the sense of like this is what I've been doing all this time. Like, this is why I've been so quiet, because I need to get information. Like, the reason why I'm so quiet, because I need to take time to actually digest the information that I receive in order to output in a certain way. I would have never thought that I would have been in the position to eliminate spirit in such a way. What? Like, no, I'm just the nice girl. I'm just the sweet girl. I'm just the one always helping people. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't really like to talk to people. I don't know what. I'm going to be eliminated who? I'm going to be on the platform doing what? No, I'm not. You sound crazy. I'm not. But, like I said, and I talk about you tap into your God's gift, because once you tap into your God's gift, or there's going to be people around you that they're not going to see that. They're not going to see that in you. You want to know why? Because they are experiencing you day to day. You grew up with these people. These people done seen you cry. These people done seen you mad. These people done seen you fight. These people done seen you in love. These people done seen you cuss people out. These people done seen you make mistakes. They done seen people fall on your ass. These people done seen you do every possible human thing that could possibly discredit you on this particular realm. They done seen you do all this shit. They witnessing you. They done seen you. But that has nothing to do with your God's purpose. And that's what people have to fail to realize. Y'all, God's purpose is designed for you. It has nothing to do with your physical makeup here. Your God's design and your God's purpose has nothing to do with your physical makeup here. Your God's design and your God's purpose has nothing to do with how people view you and how people see you and what people know you to be. That has nothing to do with your God's purpose, because your God's purpose is going to be designated in you no matter what the fuck you do here. It's just some shit you can't take away. You can't take away what God created. You can't take that away. You can't try to diminish it. You can try to discredit it. But when it comes to the gift or the purpose that the Creator gave you, you can't break that. Because it's not man-made. It's not something that man gave you. It's not something that somebody can take away from you. And people fail to realize that when it comes to this particular aspect of your purpose and the things that you're supposed to do. And we can even revert that back to the people that we see in the celebrity status or the singing status or in life general. Like, there are so many talented people out there that we have experienced in real time. I'm gonna revert back to Kels. I'm not gonna say his name, but y'all know who Kels is. I'm gonna revert back to Kels just because I am a music lover. I'm an avid music lover. I love music forever. Okay, so he is a musical genius. He is a musical genius. This man done work with so many people, done made so many songs, done made so many genres, done made people feel so many things. He is a fucking musical genius. This man has said he dreams of songs. And he can't read, y'all. Y'all know that, right? He's illiterate. R. Kelly is illiterate. He can't read. That's why he kind of got himself in these situations, because he's illiterate. He has this form of past traumas that messed up his mental aspect when it comes to the physicality of gratification in his life. He been abused. He's illiterate. He had people around him that used him because of that, because he trusted them, because he knew that wasn't his strong point in life. That wasn't his strong sense in life. But music, you can't take that away from him. I don't give what he did. I'm not justifying what he did, but I'm just talking about your God's gift. How powerful your God's gift is. You might do some fucked up shit here. People might see you in a different light, in a different way. But when it comes to your God's gift, people can't discredit your God's gift. And I just used him as a perfect example. This man has said that when he dreamed, this fool dream of music. Yes, big message. This man dream of music. And he just don't dream of music as, he hearing music. This man literally see music notes. He said, I'm saying he told me, but this is what he said. Lord have mercy. He said that he had dreams of music notes knocking on his door, and they coming into his house, and he can actually hear the melody that these music notes is trying to tell him. This nigga can't read. That's God right there. So when you revert that back to your God's gift, can't nobody take that shit away from you. And people like to discredit you because they only see you from this human experience. They're only experiencing you in your human form. Your human form has nothing to do with where God wanted you to be. Your human form has nothing to do with the God's gift that you reside in you. Your human form, your human mistakes, your human mishaps, your human wrongdoing has nothing to do with where God placed you to be for whatever reason. And that's why I need a lot of people to tap into themselves, because a lot of people, not even the people outside of them, but a lot of people credit themselves on who they are physically 100%, or seeing us with carnal minds and not spiritual minds. Yes. When people see you from the carnal mind, and when people see you from that physicality mind, they tend to judge you. Like, oh, who are you? Oh, you think you better than me? I done seen you come up in here and you talk crazy, and I done seen how you handle this, and how the fuck you know what the fuck you talking about. Because they not looking at you from a spiritual aspect. They looking at you from an egotistical aspect. They looking at you from they're not looking at you from a spiritual level. They looking at what they see face value. And that's how a lot of people fuck themselves up, looking at stuff for base value. So yes, are you supposed to look at things in the physical realm? Yes. Are you supposed to pay attention to that? Yes. But if you totally dismiss the spiritual capability and the actual God purpose of somebody because you so stuck on how they present themselves in this physical world, you're gonna be fucked up. And you're gonna lose out. Every time. Every time it happens every day. You're gonna lose out every time. You're gonna lose out every time. Okay? People have to understand that. So I had to learn. My ego caused me missed opportunities. Yeah. And when I talk about ego ain't just this, because I know people can be egotistical and they can be mean, they can be this and that, but your ego also make you weak. Like, your ego has the ability to downplay yourself because you're not looking at yourself from a spiritual value. You're judging yourself on who you are, and you're comparing yourself to people that surround you, and your ego will tell you that you not like them. Your ego will tell you that, oh, there go another siren message. Your ego will tell you that you are not like them. Okay? Your ego will tell you that there's some way you can be greater than them. Look at you do. Look at you. So your ego ain't, when I be talking about being egotistical, your ego is not just on the strength of you want to be right and you want to have everything and you know it all. Your ego can be based in fear as well. Like you said, it can be fear based. It can be based in fear as well. So you have to learn how to use your ego, because your ego will always have you judging yourself and the physicalities in this world based on your ego. And that's not, I mean, it's there to protect us, but you have to learn how to use it. You can't step foot in, you'll have a difficult time in this life if you always step foot with your ego. If your ego is what lead you, or if your ego is what you pay attention to, or your ego is what you gravitate to first, you're going to have a hard time, because look how many people we experience in this world. Look how many people that we know in this world. Look how many people that we come across in this world. Like, look how many people that we experience here. So once you start doing that, once you start comparing yourself on the ego stance, it will keep you stagnant. Because you tell yourself, I'm not greater than them. I'm not prettier than them. I'm not smarter than them. Well, look what they have. I don't have that. So how can I believe that God put me in this position to be in this way, but they over here looking like this and they ain't got that? So how can I believe that God put that inside of me? How can I believe that God want to be great? God want me to be abundant in this aspect? How can I believe that God designed this for me? How can I believe that He think, or the Creator, or he or she or the we? How do you think? How am I supposed to? How am I supposed to believe that God saw this to give to me, and I'm not perfect here? But that has nothing to do with God. God don't give a fuck about that shit. You don't. The God creator has nothing to do with that. It doesn't mean anything. Like like how you see like them homeless people on the street, or the people that don't have nowhere to go, or they might be outside, kind of like low key talk to themselves for a moment, and people will walk on by like they don't exist, because they're too in tune with this physical realm. They're too in tune of what this particular world told them to look to. They're too in tune with that. So if this physical world tells you you have to have a job, you got to have a house, you got to have a car. Now, it's hard for you to live in this realm on that wavelength. Yes, it'll be easier for you. But some people can't do it. They can't make it. They can't, either with mentality, or how they view things, or whatever it is. Some people just like, I'm not doing that, right? I see that all the time. People talk to themselves where I live when they're homeless. Yeah, a lot of people talk to themselves because A lot of people talk to themselves because what I noticed, like within the homeless community, you hear them people that just be screaming or they be cussing people out, and people think that, now this how I'm relaying the message. This how I'm reverting it. And those people be thinking, oh, they crazy. Oh, they don't know what they talking about. Oh, they just outside screaming and they talking to somebody. Ain't nobody there. Yeah. I can't tell you that those people aren't off, but I can tell you that these people are reacting off of certain things that happen to their life that they can't get out of. Like they can't stop. They can't allow it. They can't stop it replaying in they world, in their life. It keeps on replaying. So if I'm in a space where I don't have no job, I don't have no house, I don't have a car, I don't have a spouse, there's something that happened in my life that made me hit rock bottom. I don't have anything to distract me from these things, and this thing keeps on playing in my mind over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually I'm going to manifest this idea. I'm going to manifest this idea because I have nothing else around me to gauge my reality. I have nothing else around me to gauge my reality. So by me not having anything else around me to gauge my reality, I'm going to manifest the thing that I have experienced over and over again in real time in my life. And I'm going to speak about it like it's happening right now. Get off of me. I told you to leave me alone. I told you, get off of me. We can't see nobody there. But just because we can't see nobody there doesn't mean that this person that's yelling, get off me, I told you not to touch me, is reverting back to the time they could have possibly got physically abused. To the time where they got sexually assaulted and they couldn't defend themselves. And that is what stuck in their mind. And every time you see them, that's what they always revert to. They can't get out of that. It's just a loop. That's all that. Some shit break people down. So even with that aspect, it's a lot of reasons why people out here doing what they do out here. It's not just because people are weak or they can't make it, or some people just wasn't built to get through and be strong enough to deal with the experiences that we deal with on this human realm any fucking way. It's hard. It's hard for the people who know what the hell is going on. So if you the person in your life, you figure you got the answers, right? You got the answers. You got everything made out. You got the answers. You got everything made out. You got everything planned out. You got the resources. You can revert back to these things when times get hard. And even for you, with you having all the answers, with you got all these resources, even for you, there's going to be times where you ain't going to know what the fuck's going on. You ain't going to know what the fuck you going to do. You going to be like, what the fuck am I going to do with this shit? Even with all your resources. So someone who don't have the same resources as you, someone who don't have the same knowledge as you, get put in that same whirlwind, and you got it all, but you questioning yourself and you got it all. What you think these people gonna do? They gonna fall by the wayside. This shit that we live day to day, it ain't no blueprint to this shit. It ain't no secret guide to this shit. It ain't no secret whatever to this shit. So when God send you messengers, send you people that can give you information, even these people can be wrong as two left shoes, adhere to what people got to say to you. Listen to the message, because the message isn't coming from their ego. These people are trying to approach you from a spiritual level. These people are trying to approach you from a God level. But by you not being able to understand and witness that, what that is, because you're so consumed on how reality is and how people make you feel and your ego and this and that. If you can't refrain from that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for a lot of people. Okay? And people have to understand when they say God will never leave or forsake us. God will never leave you. God put things in your life all the time to let you know that God is still present. God put people in your life all the time to let you know that God is still present. God put ideas in your mind all the time to let you know God is still present. But if you are dismissing and you are ignoring, and if you aren't paying attention to what God is presenting in your life, how do you know that God is still here? You ain't gonna know. You dismissing it. You dismissing the aspects of it. You dismissing the aspects of God. You dismissing the aspects of that being. You just totally dismissing it. So by you dismissing it, how can you see it? How can you recognize it? How can you recognize God? How can you recognize the messages? How can you recognize the people that's trying to assist you? How can you recognize people that just want the better for you? How can you recognize those people? You will never be able to. Because you will always look at those people through an egotistical stance. Because either you think they better than you, or you think that you don't deserve what they're trying to give you. Either way, your ego can fuck you up. Okay? So when it comes to your purpose and the shit that you're supposed to do, tap into that. Okay? Tap into that. Tap into who you are. Tap into your consciousness. Tap into the message that you are receiving. Because understand, no one is receiving the same thing that you're receiving. They're not. Not exactly how you are. No one's receiving the same message that you are receiving. So by no one is receiving the same message that you are receiving, there are going to be things that you're going to understand that other people are not going to understand. And there are going to be some things that they understand that you're not going to understand. But what you're supposed to do is come together and get in a understanding and say, okay, well, I hear that, I understand that, but let me tell you about how my mind works. Let me tell you how this worked for me. And you guys can learn how to meet each other in the middle. Okay? Because a lot of times I believe, like in society and in life, hey love, I think a lot of times in society and in life, a lot of people go against themselves because we don't look at things like that. We don't, because we're so tuned to what we want to do, how we want to do it, what we want to do, I want to do, and how I want to do. But once you start really like walking life like that, like you miss it, like you miss so many messages, you miss so many downloads, you miss so many experiences. Like even for me, when I encounter someone or someone, how I experience life and what I figure like I'm here for. When I encounter someone to help or to assist or heal them in a certain sense. And even when it comes to, excuse me, be quiet. I'm here to help and heal on a certain sense. Because there have been times, like literally, like I'm walking down the street. I'm just average stuff, walking down the street, going to the store, taking a walk. And the most random things will happen while I'm on that street. Like the most random things will happen, and they will happen because I'm supposed to do something. Like I'm supposed to assist in this particular area. And I'd be like, I know why this is happening. This is happening in front of me because I'm supposed to go and assist these people. Like, this is happening to me because I'm supposed to go, and I already know what that is in real time for me. And at first, I really didn't understand, but I understand now. Sometimes I get put in places for people to encounter me because there is something that I have that these people need in order to get to the next level. And it could be something minuscule. And it don't have to be nothing all just, all just extravagant and change my world and change my life and all. I just look up to you. No, I'm talking about real little shit that people will be like, oh my God, I needed that. Thank you. And it's weird. Like, I remember one time I was walking down the street and it seemed like it was cars just passing by. I'm walking down the street. This man falls. He not only fall one time, okay? He falls 3 times, but he falls slow. I guess he had a walker or something. This man fell. I'm looking at him, but I'm walking up towards him. He fall. His shoe fell. His phone fell. His walker fell. He can't get up out the street. And this was around a hospital, so I know he had an ailment. I don't know what it was, but I can tell it was something. And he was weak. He couldn't get up off the ground. And it was just cars just zooming, just flying by, and I'm thinking to myself, because it took me a minute to get to him, because it's maybe like it's a long block. So I tell you, it could have took me about 5-10 minutes. When I tell you, nobody stopped. Nobody stopped to help this man. Nobody stopped. Nobody said, hey, you need some help. Nobody did anything. And I looked at this man like I'm supposed to be walking down here at this time, because I'm the only motherfucker that went across the street to help this man get off the goddamn ground. I was supposed to be there to assist this man, whatever. So I got over there, and I was like, hi sir, you need some help. He's like, oh my God. Oh, hi sis, how you doing? He's like, oh my God, yes, thank you. I'm over there. I'm helping him. Mind you, cars still kept on passing by. Everybody's passing by. I'm there. I helped. I got his stuff. I got his phone. I asked him, like, you want me to call somebody? You okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, I was just taking my walk, but I'm kind of weak, but I live on a corner. I can make it. And I'm like, okay. But if I wasn't there, ain't no telling what would happen to that goddamn man. Okay? Another time, I'm getting gas. Average day, I'm at the gas station. I'm getting gas. And I can sense things on people or feel things on people. And this lady was sitting on the ground. She wasn't asking nobody for no help. She wasn't begging. She was clean. She had a purse with her. But it was just something energetically that I picked up from her. Like, she was saying, like, how in the fuck I'm gonna get home? How am I gonna get out of here? Like, and I told that lady was just sitting there. And I was like, all right. So I went in. I paid for my gas. I got my change. I handed that lady $20. I said, here you go, queen. And then she looked up at me. And she was like, this for me? I'm like, yeah, take it. And then she started crying. And then she was like, oh my God, thank you. She gets up and walks away. Now, where she go? I don't know. I was kind of by the train station, so I could believe maybe she went to the store. She went to go get on the train. She used the money to call somebody. But that lady was sitting there stuck. And I knew that she was stuck. But everybody else was passing this lady by. That was in front of the gas station. And she wasn't, like I said, she wasn't homeless. She wasn't asking nobody for nothing. She was just sitting there with a purse. She was just sitting there like, what the fuck? But I was tuned in enough to understand, like, oh, this lady need help. So people like that exist a lot, everywhere. But if you in your ego, and let me tell you another time how I tried to help somebody, they was in their ego. They didn't allow my help. And I said, okay, I didn't push the issue. It was this young man. He was on the he was at the gas station too. But he was real young. Like, you could tell he didn't have nowhere to go, but he was real young. And I noticed that he always had like these same pairs of pants on, right? So my partner was my wife was going through her closet, and when she was going through her closet, like, she'll give away like a whole bunch of stuff, and these clothes be like damn near brand new. I mean, like, damn near. And she's like, well, I'm not wearing those no more. Just let's take them to Goodwill or whatever. So I'm like, nah. It's like, it's this guy that's at the gas station. I done seen him. He at the gas station, and he about your size. Let me just go give it to him, because these clothes damn near brand new. I went, and I said, I asked him his name, I asked him how he was doing. He said he was fine. I was like, well, I don't know if you're going to take them. I said, but I have these clothes. They almost brand new. Hi says, hey. I said, they damn near brand new. I said, you can take them. And he's like, well, I don't want them. I don't want nobody secondhand downs. And I don't want nobody this is that. I didn't say nothing to him. I was like, no problem. But I left them clothes there. And when I drove back down the street, he was gone. Them clothes was gone too. He was in his ego to a point where he felt like he didn't want me to know that he needed them clothes, even though I knew he needed them clothes. But I still left them clothes there. Okay, I was and I always keep clothes. Well, I tried to keep clothes in my back seat, because I live in California, and the homeless population is crazy. Okay, crazy. And if I have something I can give, I'll hop out. Shoes, a shirt, pants, whatever. One time, it was this lady. No, it was this man. I'm at the Church's Chicken. I don't know y'all know what Church's Chicken is, but I'm at Church's Chicken, and I'm in the drive-thru, and I see this man, and I'm like, okay, and he was asking people for some food to eat or something. I was like, what you want? And he was like, oh, he's like, well, I want 2 pieces of chicken or something. And I'm like, all right, I'll give you the chicken, right? But come to find out that this man had no pants on. Like, he had on a jacket. He was an older gentleman. He had on a jacket, but he had no pants on. He had like a shirt. Oh yes, girl, I love the mamas. He had a shirt that was wrapped around his waist. You couldn't see his private part, but you know that he didn't have. It was nothing under there. So I'm like, okay. So he tries to go in churches for whatever reason. I don't know. And they're like, you can't get in here. Don't get out of here. Get out of here. And you could tell he was drunk too. I don't know where this little man came from. He was an older guy. I don't know where he came from. He ended up peeing on himself. It was just a whole bunch of stuff going on at one time. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? And so then it was a guy at churches, because he had some bags when it was a guy at church that tried to come out and try to help him. And he's like, well, you can't come in here. He's like, 'cause you ain't got no pants on. He was trying to be, accessible to his needs. But I got out the car. I had some old sweats, some old jeans or something, because I don't think he had no shoes on, and some shoes. I got out. That man put them clothes on. And I tell you, that shit fit perfectly. Like, he would just sit. He put up the motherfucking pants like they belonged to him. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I gave him the fucking food. So, and I want to touch on that. That is how you tie. The shit that I just talked about, that's how you tie. That extra church shit, oh, you need to tie $1,000 to the church because the church needed. No, 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 no. That is not the reason of tithing. Your tithing is supposed to how you give to the people that's around you, how you give to your community, how you give to the less fortunate. All them talking about you trying to give 10%, yeah. Give 10% of your earnings to the church for what? Y'all not doing nothing for these damn people. What are you doing for the community? What are you doing for the collective? Only thing I see is you pimping out the community, you pimping out the collective, and you want them to be sucked on this Jesus juice for so long because you want them just to hold on to it just a little bit longer because you know the longer you hold on to it, the more faith you're going to get, and the harder, the stronger your faith, the more things are going to come to you, and the only thing that's coming to you is the shit that you getting from them. So maybe if they would uphold all the shit they give to you and give it to their goddamn self, they wouldn't be waiting on Jesus to give it back to their ass. Like how is it? How is it that you have a church? How is it that you have a church congregation? Okay? You have a church congregation that gave you the ability to buy a church, to buy a jet, to buy all these homes, to buy all these cars, but people in your congregation is going to church on the bus? Do you know how much a hoopty costs? Do you know how much that's where I'm from, LA, they call them hoopties. Uh, do you know how much a hoopty costs? $2,000. Give these people some goddamn transportation. Oh, we got a church bus. A bus? Sir, you flew in on a jet? A bus? You want people to be coming here for 20, 30 years while you riding off in your jet, in your boat, and they supposed to be sufficient with a fucking bus? Get the fuck out of here. That's not how the fuck you tithe. That's not how the fuck you tithe. You tithe by giving out to the collective. You tithe by giving out to less fortunate. You feed the collective. You feed the less fortunate. It was this man named Rick that stayed in my area. Rick was off them drugs, okay? I don't know what drugs he was on, but he was on something, okay? And he had fascinated with fire trucks because I don't know, he was a fireman or what, but he used to love calling the fire department like he loved looking at the trucks, okay? Every time my mama cooked, because he stayed in the area, every time my mama cooked, like a big meal or for holidays or she was cooking something big, she always made sure she gave Rick a plate. She always made sure she gave Rick a plate. Rick didn't have nobody. You see Rick sleeping in the bushes. But every time you give Rick these plates, when you see Rick give him this plate, when you see Rick give him these cans, I'm going to put these cans out for Rick. That's how the fuck you tithe, y'all. You don't tithe. That extra shit, that shit don't mean shit. Okay? I was a member at Corner Store Children's Church that needed help. And they would, yeah, no. And what I don't like about that is they want you to tithe for 20, 30 years. They want you to go to these churches all your fucking life. Then Lord forbid you don't pick up on the bill or some shit. You get a disconnection notices on some shit. You gotta go through Jesus. In order for you to get your bill paid, you got to go through the president. Okay, well, what do you need? Okay, well, we need you to write a letter. And we need you to send this note. And then the secretary is going to grab the note and the letter and the email. And then once we get the email, we're going to transfer it over to the finance department. And once the finance department gets the request, the finance department has to get the answer from the minister, And once the minister get his answer, then we had to review it. Goddamn, bitch, I've been coming to this church for 30 years. 30 years. I need $100. I done gave y'all 50,000 of them. The times I've been every Sunday, every whatever day, you got all these goddamn collection plates and shit coming through. I done gave y'all over $10,000 in this bitch. But as soon as I need $100 for my bill, I gotta go through you, the president, Jesus, the goddamn the aliens in order to get my fucking bill paid. You better kiss my fucking ass. I'm not coming to that bitch. They do shit like that all the time. And be like, oh, well, God told you to know it because the Lord told me to tell you your blessings is coming right now. You don't know they coming, but they coming. They coming right now. And while they coming right now, I need you to give your blessings over to me. While you waiting on Jesus, I'm waiting on you to empty your pocket. The fuck out of here with that. So when you start looking through your God's eye, when you start looking through the real shit, you understand who the fuck is who and what the fuck is what. Because a lot of people be talking that shit and they ain't about shit. Damn tied. That's how you tie. You got tied to the less fortunate. You tied to those who don't have. You tied to those who are in need. God don't know nothing about no church. When God was being God amongst God, and if people, because a lot of people believe Jesus is God, even though I don't believe Jesus is God, I think Jesus came here. He was a prolific spiritual messenger. He came here to tell us the gifts and the ways that we can adhere to in order to be in God's greater presence. I don't believe that he is the creator. I believe he came here to give us the message in order for us to follow the message that God gave him. But even if you believe that Jesus is the creator, you believe that your creator is telling you to give out your shit to a church, that your creator wasn't even giving services as Jesus wasn't in no goddamn church. Jesus was amongst the people. Jesus was walking around, seeing what the fuck is up. Hey, how y'all doing? Going to where these people are. Touching down to where they at. The prostitute, the thief. I need to go see what y'all doing. I need to go see where you guys are. I need to be in contact with you. God ain't never, Jesus, a God ain't never told nobody you need to come where the fuck I'm at. He ain't never told nobody that. You need to come where I'm at. You just come where I'm at. And then I'll think about servicing you. God, this ain't no shit like that. Like God wasn't like, I ain't going down there and talk to them because whew, I heard what y'all been saying about them. I heard what y'all said about them. I ain't going over there and touching them. God didn't do those shit like that. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Stop. Stop with all the madness. So even when it comes to church, God didn't just reside in no church. God resides in you. That's why I don't adhere to a lot of stuff, even though I do believe in God, even though I do believe in spirit, I do believe in Jesus. In a certain way, I believe in the creator. But it's a lot of things that don't make sense to me because I believe God is too abundant to be in one religion. God is too abundant to be in one position. God gave us too many things in order for us to just be in this particular area and believe that we can only find God in this religion. We can only find God in this book. But once you understand that we are created, when God created us in God's image, God is everywhere. So as God is everywhere, I don't have to serve and love and practice and be obedient to God by going to church. If God is everywhere, But like I said, if people aren't in tune with what really fucking matters, they will walk past God every fucking day to run over to that church and say that they love God. They'll pass by God every fucking day. And not saying that they'll pass by God. They'll pass by God's creations. They'll pass by God's creations every day and talk shit about them every day. Every day. Every day. They'll talk shit about them every day. And then run off or fast to the pews in the church and think they better than somebody. Get the fuck. You don't know. You don't know. It's okay. You don't know. It's okay. You don't know. But you'll learn. You'll learn eventually. You're gonna learn. Because that's not how God works. That's not how God isn't egotistical like that. Okay? That's why I say they be talking about, I serve a great God. Well, okay, you serve the God of love. That don't sound too loving to me. If you serve the God of love, yet you hate on God's creations, don't sound too loving to me. I think you need to revert that back. I think you need to rewind that. You need to do something else. You need to figure something out. That's not love. How can you love God but hate His creation? But that's what the ego do, and that's what the enemy does to you. Because the enemy tell you they not you. Look at you. They not you. It's something wrong with them. But look how they act. Look how they move. Look what they do when they at home. God ain't in that. You of God. You the perfect one. You the one. No, go over there and hate them. Because that's what God wants you to do. Go over there and hate them. Go over there and let them know that you better than them. Go over there and let them know that you deserve more than they deserve. Because you're God's creation and they're not. But yet and still, the motherfuckers done got fooled by the motherfucking enemy. They done got tricked by the motherfucking enemy. God would never tell you nothing like that. If anything, God would say, oh, leave it alone, just walk away. Leave it alone. You don't like it? Okay, don't eat it. You don't want to see it? Okay, turn away. Let shit be. You can not like something and let it be peace. You don't have to be destructive. Even though I know people have a hard time with that shit. I have a hard time with that when I'm feel some type of way about something. I need to express myself. It's okay to let it go peacefully. If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align with your personal structure, if it doesn't align with your personal life, it's okay to let that shit go in peace and let it be. Because you want to know why? It has the gift of life as well. It has the gift of being as well. It just isn't aligned with yours, which is fine. Let it go in peace. God will never tell you to hate on something that is different from you. So, I done ran and raved just a little bit, just so y'all can see what's going on in my mind. But thank you for the love, thank you for the likes. If you guys missed any part of this live, I'm going to download this and I'm going to put it on my YouTube. Okay, I may have to edit it because I think I was on the phone for maybe like 5-10 minutes, and I may have to edit that little part out. But other than that, I'm going to post it on YouTube, this live. So if you missed this live, click the YouTube in my bio, subscribe, and go there, and I'll upload this today. So maybe about the end of maybe before nighttime, maybe like by, because it's 12 my time, so maybe about like 5-6 my time it should be up. Okay. Oh yeah, girls. Yeah, I'm like shit. I didn't know nobody was gonna be on here by the time I got back, but I'ma upload. I'ma download it, upload it, and then y'all can check that out. Okay. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing the life. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for pouring into me the way I pour into y'all. And I will check you guys later. All right. Bye.